Amelia back again with yet another hair tutorial. So today I'm going to wash this out. It's been in here for about a week since my last video, which is really bad. Bad natural hair tips. Don't do that ever. Anywho, so I'm going to wash using As I Am Curl Clarity Shampoo. It's real good. It'll kind of strip all the product buildup off. So it's a really nice shampoo there. I'll do a deep condition and detangle with this Africa's Best Hair Mayonnaise. I love this. I used to use them when I was a kid. The bomb. And then also for my moisturizing products, when I start to do my style, which I'll be doing a loose Bantu knot, I'm going to use natural coconut oil for my moisturizer. And then, of course, my favorite leave-in conditioner is the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil Conditioner. So let's go ahead and get going here. Alright, you guys, so the wash is done. I just washed it with the As I Am Curl Clarity Shampoo, like I showed y'all earlier. And now at this point, we're going to go ahead and do some detangling and deep conditioning using the Organics by Africa's Best Hair Mayonnaise. So we'll go ahead and I'll show you how I do this part. So I usually do this part in sections, of course, just like pretty much anyone else that I know. I use pretty large sections, really. I always use a rat tail whenever I'm parting my hair, no matter what I'm doing. I use a rat tail comb just because it makes it easier, and so I'm not trying to like rip my hair right out of the follicle. So these are about the size of the sections that I use for my detangling and deep conditioning. I ain't got much left in there, as you can see, but we're going to make it do what it do. So you always want to make sure that you put enough so that it can, saturate the entire length of the hair. And then you use your wide tooth comb. Mine isn't that wide tooth. You can use a wider tooth, or you can use, I wouldn't suggest using a fine tooth comb, but you can use, however wide you think you may need so that you don't want to have a whole lot of breakage, but I like to use this one just because it has a handle. This is my favorite comb. Excuse me. But it's also going to get it nice and detangled. So you never want to start at the root and work your way down. So you'll start at the ends and just kind of work your way from the bottom up, of course. And then once you feel like you can go from the root, then you're good. So I parted in almost the same size sections that I used when I was doing my detangling, just a little bit smaller, especially towards the middle when you get to those thicker sections of hair. So what I do first, since the hair is already wet, I take about this much oil. Now, one thing that I love about coconut oil is it starts off as a solid, but of course, once you get to rubbing it together, it turns into pretty much a liquid state. So I just rub it on there. Definitely make sure that you pay attention to your ends as well. You certainly want your ends to be moisturized. Alright, so you use about this much leave-in conditioner. Rub that on as well. Again, paying attention to your ends. To make sure that those are nice and moisturized, you'll use your comb again. And then at this point, all it is a two-strand twist. So you want to have two sections that are pretty equal in size here in the amount of hair. And two-strand twist. And I'm going to try to get a little close here so y'all can see how I do that. All you do is twist. Now what I like to do is about halfway down the length of the twist, I pause and take my comb again and comb it out one more time just to make sure. In order to get the twist to be as defined as possible, You don't want any tangles. Once I get to the end, I kind of twist it around my finger a little bit. And at this point for the Bantu, this is going to be a loose Bantu for this particular style. You can do a tight one. The tighter your Bantu, the tighter your curls are going to be when you take it loose. I like to do mine looser also because they dry faster when you do a looser Bantu. So to do a looser Bantu, all I do is simply grab it at the top. And I usually do like a 2-finger and I loop it around. And then from that point, I just continue to loop it around. But as you can see, it is very loose. It's not a tight Bantu knot. Okay, so here's the finished result. Closer view here. So as you can see, they're all really loose. This is how you put the loose Bantu knots in. So at this point, I'm just going to throw my bonnet on and I'm crawling up in the bed. Alright guys, so here we are, nice and dry. It's the next day now. So we are ready to take the knots out. You definitely want it to be completely dry because if it's not and you take the knot out anyway, then it's going to air dry from that point and then you end up with maybe a poofy mess depending on what kind of hair you have. So we'll go ahead and take the knots down. I'll show you how I do those to make sure that you keep as much definition as possible and then we'll be done. So let's go ahead and do that. So I just kind of pull it out. Now what I do is I kind of untwist it a little bit so that it's not, you know, a tight twist. And I just find the division and then I just pull it apart. Now one thing that I also do is for each piece that you have, I split that in two just to kind of give you a little bit more volume. Alright, so we've got all of the knots out. So this is what you're left with. Obviously, you don't want to go out looking like this. So from this point, I usually mostly use my hands, but to fluff up the roots a little bit more so you don't see all these parts, I usually use a very wide tooth comb to just kind of pick the roots up a little bit. Y'all will see me as I do that. And from this point, you can kind of decide how you want to wear it. If you want to have it all back, or if you want to just have the sides up, or if you want to have it all out loose like this, that's perfectly fine too. So however you decide to wear this style, it'll pretty much work out for you. You'll just have, you know, more defined curls. So I'll start with the water and I'll spray it around the edges only. Only around the edges. Do not spray it on the rest of the hair because you don't want this to revert back to its natural state. So just around the edges where you'll be brushing. At this point, take a little Eco Styler gel, about that much for the front and then the same amount on the back. And now I use my brush to smooth the edges around the outside and brush it in an upwards position. And from here, you have your headband around your head. Push it back. I usually like my puffs to be pretty high, so I don't push it back very far at all. But I do push the back up pretty far. So this is the look that I was going for. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you have any feedback, comments, suggestions, or anything like that. If you do, just drop them in the comment section below. Make sure you like and subscribe. That's pretty much it. So until next time, peace out. Hey y'all, it's Shamelia back again with another hair tutorial. Today we're gonna, hold that thought. Wrong one.